What is up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Hopefully, you can all hear me. It's been a crazy day, so barely even sort of got here ready for this. But as we say, I want to be here every Thursday night for y'all so we can chat and have some fun. We've got a few people here already. Local big guys in the house. We got Hyla, as usual. It's good to see you, Hyla. And we got Rick here as well. It's good to see you, Rick. Hope everyone's having a good week so far. It's Thursday again. No interview this week. I didn't have anything lined up. Like I've said before, it's being summertime. It's probably going to be a little bit difficult to get interviews nailed down, but that's fine. We can just sit here and have a discussion about some different things. And we got cruising is fun anytime. It's good to see you. Another family member from YouTuber chat. Met a lot of great content creators over there. So it's good to see everyone supporting each other out there. So yeah, we'll give it a few minutes here before we sort of get into sort of the topic I wanted to talk about this week. Everyone's saying hi to each other. I did the link in the chat if anyone wanted to join the conversation. I just pinned it there for you. No pressure or anything. I just in case anyone wants to jump in here and have a discussion. But yeah, so what we got going on here? Rick saying today's going well, no rain or flooding for a change. Yeah, it is. Sorry about that. It rained like crazy here last night, like all night, thunderstorms, just rained and rained and rained. It was crazy, but yeah, like I know it's nothing like some of the flooding areas that have happened recently, but yeah, it was. I could barely sleep because all the thunder and rain last night. And we've got Cindy here. It's good to see you, Cindy. Like you say, hopefully everyone's having an okay week this so far. Weekend's almost here, thankfully. Had another busy week at work, but that's nothing new. It's kind of an odd thing if I'm not busy. But it certainly passes the time, keeps me busy. Sort of keeps me motivated to continue building the channel so that someday I don't have to go in to do that 9 to 5 and I can dedicate more time to helping people on YouTube. Yeah, weekend is almost here, just about. So yeah, I'll have to take a look at where we're sitting here on the channel. We're coming up on 900 subscribers, which is crazy. I didn't oh jeez, I don't know why my phone is going crazy here. Let's just turn that off. So yeah, it's it's amazing. Think back this time last year, I was quite a ways under 500 subscribers, and now we're on pace to hit that 1,000 subscribers in the next month or two. So I'm definitely excited about that. And for anyone that has helped with my watch time hours, I definitely appreciate it. Just about over half of what we need to get to the first level of monetization for watch hours. So, just keep doing what we do and, hope we can help someone along the way. Just about to eat dinner. Definitely. That's okay, Cindy. I definitely just wanted to put that out there. You never know who wants to jump in here and sort of give their opinion and their sort of experiences and all that. So I just thought I'd put it out there. I do have, as you've probably seen from the title and the thumbnail, I did have something to talk about this week. So, it's nothing too formal. Just want to just have a discussion. We got Reichwin in the house. Good to see you. Yeah, everyone's saying hi. Yeah, it's done pretty good lately, Rick. It's up at its highest sort of per month growth numbers that I've seen on the channel. So it's pretty steady. I guess ultimately it just comes down to being consistent with content and putting out different things that people might want to watch. And I think the biggest boost to the channel has just been networking and getting out there and meeting new people and exposing the channel to other creators. And there's always people out there that are going to be interested in your content if you get out there and get involved in other people's live streams and comment on videos and share out other creators and stuff like that. Just being part of a community is a big plus for sure. So everyone's saying hi here. I'm at 264 subs right now. Started my channel. Yeah, no, that's great, Cindy. That's I started my channel about 2.5 years ago, but didn't really get that serious about it, I guess, until this year. That's when I started networking a lot. So that's when I found a lot of growth. 926 subs, but only, I almost wish that I had started focusing on watch time hours sooner, because it's tough, but it's a matter of going out there and being part of a broader community. And there's lots of people out there I find that are willing to help with watch time hours. And again, I think the first part, unfortunately, is to get enough content out there that, if someone's going to run your playlist, that it actually helps with your watch hours. Because we got to remember, we're always going to lose as we gain hours, on that rolling 365-day clock, basically. Oh, Miss Together We Travel. It's good to see you. And Scratch and Pete PA is in the house. Good to see you, Pete. Thank you for coming over. And we got Nora, the Stock Explorer. It's good to see you in the house. And then we got Kevin from Tuber Chat. I was just talking about Tuber Chat not too long ago, Kevin, just saying how, it was once I started, I got connected with Tuber Chat that my channel really started to grow. We're, as of right now, looking at about 12 away from 900, and then get on that push for 1,000. And saying it's, as far as my average growth numbers, I'm not too worried about it. It should happen in the next couple of months or so. So again, I've switched to focusing on watch hours now and just try to put out lots of new content and be consistent on our Thursday nights here. So everyone's saying hi. I was saying hi to Pete, Nora, and Kevin. Everyone's still saying hi together to each other here. Yeah, no, it's great to see everyone coming together as part of a community here. Like I think it was once I started reaching out and started to get to know people outside of my sort of niche, like Nora and like Pete and Kevin from Tuber Chat. That's when things, I think, is when things can really start to grow and you can start building a real community of support. I want, ultimately, I'd like to have a channel that has engagement with the supporters or the subscribers that I have, because I find that's the most rewarding thing to me. Like if I can put out a video like my last Joffle video there, I was looking at it the other day, has a lot of comments and a lot of likes, and well, I'm not really even so worried about the likes, but I like the comments. I like when my content can inspire people to engage with it. That's really the rewarding part to me. The video really didn't even get the amount of views that I typically get on a Chaffle video, but again, the engagement was way up, so that's definitely appreciated. Word up from Nora. Still got everyone saying hi here. Cindy, it's my turn to have keto chow ice cream tonight. That sounds pretty good. I just had about, probably 1.5 pounds of ground beef. Like I said, I got home late and didn't really have much time to do anything too fancy tonight, so I can make it here. So that's what we had. Super boring, but I'm full now and I won't need to eat till tomorrow. So yeah, that's cool. If you want cruising, if you want to, I will, I've got a watch time playlist. I can definitely run yours as well. I'll make a note of that to set yours up. I can run 2 or 3 at a time on my setup here. I've got a couple of computers here, so share it on Reddit. Thank you, Kevin. Always great support there. Everyone's still saying hi here. What we got here? I did another 24-hour fast, water fast. It's getting easier. Yeah, it's funny. I've actually found, I got a darn fly flying around in my office here. That should be fun. Anyways, I've actually been focusing the last few weeks really on eating more often. So I'm actually eating in the morning as well, which is different for me because I've never been someone that ate in the morning. I was always at least like noon before I would eat. And I'm actually feeling a bit better than I was. I have also been being really diligent about electrolytes in the morning as well. So I quit drinking coffee for a while, and I'm doing electrolytes and eating in the morning, and I'm actually feeling a bit better than I was before. So we'll see if that lasts. But yeah, it's always good to try and change things up. Whether or not, if you're eating more often, you want to try fasting, that's great. Or if you're fasting a lot, then changing it up and eating more often, it's not going to hurt you if you're eating the right things, right? We got Intrepids here. It's good to see you. So another creator from Tuber Chat I just met last night. I think that's the first time I connected with them. So it's good to see you. Yes, everyone else saying hi here. Everyone else, a lot of people know everyone from each other from Tuber Chat. So that's everyone. It's good to see everyone mixing together and getting to know each other. We are about to have strip steak and heart of palm mashed. That sounds good. Gotta love steak. I've never had the heart of palm replacement. But I think I've seen it. I think there's one here called palmini or something like that. I've always wanted to give it a try. I just haven't gotten around to it. Yep. Yeah, what I've been doing is I've been eating probably close to like 1 pound of ground beef and like 3 or 4 eggs in the morning. And then, some water and electrolytes. And it's been, I've found if you're eating the right things in the morning, you can carry that energy over and not get you know tired during the day. I use my coconut water for electrolytes. I'm using Element. Um, it's a electrolyte mix. Sadly, I've actually run out in my. I used to get it from Amazon, but they've sort of run out of it on Amazon here in Canada right now. So I broke down and ordered a 4 month supply direct from Element in the States. So it's supposed to be here in 2 or 3 days. So fingers crossed because I'm missing that. Um, so yeah, that's what I use is Element. So it's LMNT, just spelled out like that. Um, it's not for everyone kind of thing. If you're all right with an electrolyte drink that is really salty, then Element's great. Flavors are great. I actually was able to order 2 boxes of the um, grapefruit Element, so I'm looking forward to that for sure. And we got LB in the house. How you doing, LB? LB was on the live stream last week, giving her her story. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely go over and give a watch of that live stream. LB's got a great story. Or I'll just post that down in the comments here. So yeah, if you haven't seen that live stream from last week, I definitely suggest going to check that out. Lots of fun getting to know LB. Hopefully, if you want to get some more inspiration, definitely go over there and check that out. I restarted my No Eat Tuesdays 14 weeks ago and keeping myself accountable with cool. Yeah, that's the whole, and this sort of goes along with what I wanted to talk about tonight, which is whether or not keto or ketovore, carnivore, or anything on the proper human diet spectrum is sustainable for long term. And what it really comes down to, I think, sustainability is all based on what works for you. Like if that something helps you stay accountable, then like that's the way to do it. Not having a plan and just sort of winging it, I think, can definitely make things harder. I missed a comment. Cruising it because y'all are about to cruise on Mardi Gras and you're looking to run a playlist. Check out. Cool. That'd be fun. I'd like to get down to that area one of these days. It's I think the furthest we're going this year is we're going to go to Louisville for the Keto Palooza in October. So that'd be a fun little weekend trip. But so if anyone's going to that, I'm definitely looking forward to meeting whoever's there. Cool. Thank you. And everyone's saying hi still. Okay. Well, we're caught up on comments for now. So basically what I was hoping to talk about, and it's nothing too serious, just sort of the idea of being able to stay keto, long term and turn it into a lifestyle and not just a diet. I think first of all, you have to get the question out of the way as to whether or not keto is healthy to do long term. And my personal opinion, which everything here is my personal opinion about it, of course, is that eating a proper human diet, such as keto or ketovore or carnivore, anything on that spectrum, even paleo to an extent, eating that kind of diet, I find it would be hard to believe that couldn't be healthy for you long term. because that's sort of the way that humans were meant to live in the beginning. So with that question out of the way as to whether or not it's healthy or not, the idea of it being sustainable long term, as far as sticking with it, like if you see the title of mine, as of last Sunday, I looked it up just for fun, but I've been keto for over 1,600 days. That's not saying that I've been perfect for that amount of time, but I haven't, in over 1,600 days, I haven't specifically or intentionally had a cheat meal or anything like that. So that's why I've been able to sort of say that for me, it's definitely sustainable. But I think as far as sustainability goes, it's a mindset thing, and ultimately, you need to be able to come up with a plan and figure out what it is that works best for you. Like Uncle Big Guy with his comment about no eat Tuesdays, and then trying to use the community to stay accountable. There's lots of steps or lots of pieces to the lifestyle puzzle. I like to say that you need to put in place to be able to make it sustainable for yourself. Starting with figuring out what your why is and why you want to do what you're doing. My why is my grandkids. I want to be around for them as long as I can. I want to be able to play with them. I couldn't do that. The way I was overweight, I couldn't play with my grandson when he was 2 years old. So that's sort of what I've been able to use as my why. But that, everybody's going to have a different reason why they want to get healthy. What else we got here? We got the Bud Files. Good to see you guys. Cruising Koozies, another cruising channel. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, KPL's in Louisville, Kentucky. It's the only sort of event that we can actually drive to, so that's sort of why I picked that one. It's only about 8 hours drive from where we are. We got Jess in the house. Good to see you, Jess. I have an interview with Keto Homestead with Jess on the channel too. So if you want to check out her story, and just go back in the playlist of the podcast, and she's in there. I can't remember which episode it is, but you'll be able to find it. But like I say, there's all the pieces of the puzzle to sustainability. Again, starting with your why, and then finding community, such as this, like the community we built here, such as Two Crazy Ketos, to a certain extent, Dr. Barry's, although that it's such a big community that it's kind of hard to keep up with. People like Hyla from Crafty and Carnivorish here, and we've got Jess and LB, and Ryquin's a great supporter. You just need to find the right support that you can lean on, because everybody has hard times. Everybody's going to have those days when they don't think they can sustain the diet that they've started, or the lifestyle they've started. It's good to see you, Cindy. Thanks for coming in. Have a great steak dinner. I'm changing my meals for a while. Less red meat, more lean meat, to see what it does. I already noticed I feel less full. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where you want, like, anyway, my personal experience is that the fattier, like if you're going to go leaner meats and trying to cut down on the red meat, maybe getting in some more things like salmon or something, just to get the fats up there, or get some sardines or something, just to get those fats in. It doesn't, it's still a leaner protein, but it's also got some really good fats. But again, getting back to sustainability, getting your why, figuring out what your why is, getting the support you need, coming up with the plan. It is kind of hard to just jump right in and be able to come up with a plan that is going to work long term. But if you spend some time and figure out, what's going to work best for me, there's, you know, there's a lot of different ways to do keto, whether or not you're doing like a strict ketogenic diet or ketovore where you're more meat heavy. Carnivore is a little bit more of an elimination type lifestyle, uh, which a lot of people use to try and figure out and determine what is causing some of their health issues. But if you're someone that is doesn't want the confusion, and I know keto can be confusing. If you look at 10 different keto channels and 10 different keto influencers and everything, you can wind up with 10 different ways of doing things, which can be confusing. And, sometimes it's a little overwhelming. But I think with carnivore and diets like that, it basically eliminates the confusion because you're sticking with, fatty red meats and like any kind of protein like that. So it makes it easy. However, it's a very challenging sort of lifestyle to get into at first, unless you're really trying to deal with some nagging illnesses or ailments or whatever, and you really want to jump on that elimination side of things. So who are you missing here? I don't want to sort of miss out on anyone here. We got BNC Gardening Experiments, Homestead and Baking. It's good to see you guys. Thanks for coming in. Y'all have to make some mock Chris. Everyone's saying hi. We got Rushing Wind Mountain, another Tuber Chat family member. It's good to see you in the house. Everyone's still saying hi. Okay, thanks for coming in, Highland. It's good to see you. Thanks for spending the time that you could. I know you can't couldn't stay, but it's good to see you anyways. Highland's been a great supporter of the channel. If you haven't checked out her channel, definitely search her out and go check out her content. Everyone's saying hi and bye. So yeah, so like I say, finding a way to do a keto or a keto lifestyle, specifically based on what I wanted to talk about tonight. There's all sorts of different, everyone, or there is different ways to do it. There's a really clean ketogenic diet that you're staying strict with, counting total carbs. You're like 20 grams of total carbs per day with clean, non-processed foods. There's other ways to do it. Some people can get away with higher amounts of carbs. Some people can get away with counting net carbs. I think, especially when you're starting out, a lot of people can benefit just from counting net carbs. And again, a lot of people will say, well, you're better off just to start with being as clean as you can. And I can agree with that too. But I think there's some people that need that sort of replacement of their vices at first, so that they can feel like they're not missing out on things. But if you stick with it long enough, I find, or at least I found, that after a while you start eliminating those replacement things, like trying to replace cookies and breads and stuff like that. But again, a lot of people thrive just on living that way. Like a lot of people can do just fine on higher carbs with replacement things like breads and replacement pastas and baked goods and all that stuff. Personally, the first year I did great with it. I was baking all sorts of stuff, making fat bombs and eating all sorts of keto products and stuff like that. And I did fine. I lost 80 pounds in the first year doing that. But I did find that after a year and a half, 2 years sticking, I had to tighten things up and, start moving away from any of the processed foods. But, like lots of people here will attest to things like I think Hyla was talking earlier about Keto Chow. Keto Chow is a good product. It's good quality ingredients. I've actually got one here. This is the Keto Chow. This is a Snickerdoodle one. I don't really buy it because I personally, I don't like doing meal replacements. I bought them to use in different recipes like baking and stuff like that. Plus this stuff is so expensive up here in Canada that it definitely wouldn't be affordable for me to use a lot. But again, there's some products like Keto Chow, which, great people, great ingredients. They're keto people themselves. So they're not just out there trying to make a buck on the keto name. There's other products like the keto bricks, right? That's Robert Sykes, another great product, not trying to just make money off the keto name. Lots of people can thrive eating products like that on a regular basis. Some people can't. Some people find that, the best way to make it sustainable is to try and eliminate those cravings for the things that you used to have. Because we all know how hard it is to get rid of cravings. So make sure we're not missing everyone. Everyone's saying good night to Crafty. I see that Jess had to go too. It's good to see you, Jess. Thanks for coming in and spending some time here. Like I say, I did an interview with Jess a while back. Her interviews on my podcast list there if you want to check it out. Everyone's still saying hi here. So, yeah, like I say, it's trying to turn what usually starts off as a diet, like a ketogenic diet, into a lifestyle, I think is the big shift. That is what can make it sustainable. And I think personally, and again, this is just my personal experience and my personal thoughts on it, is that, taking the leap into something like this, I always encourage people, if you're going to do something like this, do it for as long as you can. Don't just do it because you want to lose 20 or 30 pounds. Do it like or at least don't use the diet to hit a weight loss target. Start off by saying, okay, well, I'm going to do this for 90 days, 120 days, 3 or 4 months, right? 3 or 4 months out of your life is nothing, right? Especially when we've all been abusing our bodies for years, right? So, because I think if you can stick to something like keto or ketovore for that 90 days or for that 4 months or whatever, and you can see the benefits of it and you can feel the benefits of it, that's when it can be easier to turn what might start off as a diet into a lifestyle. And I think ultimately that's the turning point of sustainability, is the lifestyle aspect of it. Being able to say to yourself, okay, well, I feel great now. I've lost some weight. I'm a lot happier with the way I look and feel. So why would I want to go back to what I was doing before that just made me sick and miserable, right? And again, that's just the way I was. A lot of people, don't need to lose weight, but they have some nagging ailments that they'd like to address. And, you know, the fact is that a lot of things that uh, people are suffering from these days, they say 95% of everything that people are dealing with, like from, eczema to asthma, is diet related. So cleaning up your diet can get rid of things that you'd never ever expect to fix just by changing what you eat. Um, but that 90 to 100 days or 120 days of giving it a good honest try can quickly clear up a lot of things that might be causing you trouble. Yeah, Sheena in the house. Good to see you, Sheena. Another longtime supporter. Sheena's got a great story of her own, and great following and community over on her channel as well. Um, and then once you get, like, if we get back to, once you've been able to turn your diet into a lifestyle and made that decision, like, okay, well, this is going to be my life, and I'm not going to turn back to what got me sick in the first place. There is you have to come to a decision in your life and be able to say to yourself one way or the other, okay, well, I'm either going to have to live clean sort of for the rest of my life, or I'm going to be able to allow myself to have those moments of indulgence. You know, are you going to have those, birthday cakes at your birthday, or, have something at Christmas, or something off plan at all? This is where another sort of big part of whether it's sustainable for you comes into play. I think you have to be able to honestly look inside your soul and say, okay, well, can I do this? Can I have a cheat meal, but stay on track, and then just turn it right back off and get, keep back going where I was? Or is this cheat meal going to turn into, uh, another cheat meal 2 weeks from now, and then another cheat meal and another meal in another week? And then, because the way I look at it is for myself, is that if I was to have a cheat meal now and, have something like a hamburger and French fries and everything and a Coke and whatever, what I worry about and what I'm afraid of is that I won't actually feel that bad. I probably would, but what I worry about is that I might not feel that bad after eating that. And what happens psychologically at that point is, like, then, the next time you're thinking, oh, well, I didn't feel too bad last time I did this, maybe I can get away with doing this more often. Right. So again, that's just my sort of thought process in it. And that's why I've come to the realization that I can't moderate. I'm not someone who can, do this 99% of the time and then have that 1% that's off plan, because that 1% will grow into 2%, and that'll grow into 3. And sooner or later, pretty quickly, I'll wind up back on the wrong road. So to me, I've had to, come to that decision that I have to stay clean and just be an abstainer instead of a moderator. Thanks for the share, Sheena. I appreciate it. Everyone's saying hi here. Myself, I cheat. I make a day of it, and then I feel like crap and kick myself. Yeah, it's, again, that's the one thing, and I will never, you'll never hear me say anything bad about anybody that wants to indulge once in a while. Again, that's everybody's personal personal choice to make. I think it does make more sense that if you're going to cheat, make a plan of it. Say, okay, well, this is going to, like, my birthday is this date and we're going to go out and I'm just going to eat whatever I want. I'm going to deal with the consequences for the next day or two. I'm not going to fast the next day because that's not good for you. You just get back on your plan and eat as you were. I think that's healthier and mentally and physically than it is to have those unexpected cheat meals. Again, that's just my personal belief in it. I think the planned cheat meals are a lot easier to mitigate and just get right back on plan afterwards. I can put on weight like gangbusters. Yeah, I'm sure I could too. Like I was putting weight back on for a while there, and I was still eating clean. I was just eating too much processed crap. So if I have a cheat meal, it will go on for a week and I'm doomed for a while. Yeah. And that's what I worry about too, LB, is that, if I allow it to happen once, it's going to happen again. And then, just like they say, then you wind up with a 6-month entanglement with carbs, right? I've done some very minor cheating recently, a few tater chips or a couple of fries. Yeah. Again, like I don't really, that's because, a few chips and fries isn't going to hurt anybody. With me, obviously I would definitely want more, but again, I don't know. Cheat meals, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that'll say if you're, on plan 90% of the time and off plan 10% of the time, a lot of people say that's a healthy way to do it mentally. But again, being able to sustain that 90-10 is what is hard for a lot of us, that, because we can't keep it 90% of the time, right? Got Paul here. How you doing tonight? If I go off plan, my blood sugars go freaking haywire. Even with a proper insulin dosage, my body is not used to non-regimented diet. After 8.5 years being type 1, I have no choice in the matter. Yeah, it's tough. Like it's, and like Sheena was saying there too, like if you after being clean for so long, I've been 4.5 years now. You're saying, Paul, long time too. Like once you reintroduce some of those, processed crap that's out there, it can wreak havoc on your body pretty quickly. So, man, like I say, personally, I ultimately, yes, I needed to lose weight when I started. I wasn't at the point where the weight was the worst part for me. I just had a lot of, aches and pains and sore knees and sore back and stuff like that. And keto turned into something that I use to fix inside of me. Like I have a lot of digestive issues too. And I have for quite a few years. So that's what I'm using it for now, is to try and fix all of those nagging little things. It's not, it quickly changed from, weight loss to overall health. And that's why I've sort of focused more on making sure my sleep's good and stress is kept as low as possible, hydration, sunlight, all that kind of stuff that that goes along with being healthy. I was researching type 1 this morning and insulin. Yeah, I figured it was insulin, Sheena. Yeah, that's, I don't know, it's just sad, I guess, that even to this day, like there's so much information out there. There's so many testimonials out there. There's so much proof like even like type 1 aside, which is, its own thing, um, and which can still be managed and helped with a ketogenic diet, with the assistance of a physician. I would always say any kind of, if you're just to put this out here, like I'm not a doctor, and, don't take any of this as medical advice. But if you have type 2 diabetes, if you've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and your doctor isn't, you know, instructing you to go on a low carb diet, then chances are it's probably time to find a new doctor that can work with you on that. The fact that it's still, the recommendations are still just eat what you want and manage it with medications just still, boggles my mind. I can't believe that we haven't gotten past that point yet, but that's all we can do, unfortunately, is just keep doing what we do here and keep hearing people's stories and putting the proof out there that changing what you eat can make huge differences really quickly. We've got Ron, the associate reseller. It's good to see you. I don't think I've seen you in here before. I'm guessing maybe came over from Sheena's channel there. I'm not sure, but I would definitely guess that. Sheena shared out the live stream. So thanks for coming in. We're just talking about diet and lifestyle and the ways to make it sustainable for life. Like I say, I personally have turned, I've long ago made the decision that this is going to be my life. There is no end game. There is no, finish line in the journey to being healthy. I always say, you just don't, you don't. I fear a lot of people that use this just as a diet, like keto, just as a diet, that unfortunately, if they give it up after they see the quick initial, results of it, things can go real bad real quick. And, talk about regaining everything that you've lost really quickly. It can definitely happen with keto. Oh, to God. I discovered I was never diagnosed. The numbers were always good with labs, but guess what? I was obviously, because I could never get into ketosis, which is why it took so long to lose. Yeah. It's one of those things too, where I was never diagnosed with any kind of diabetes as well, but I'm pretty confident that, if I had checked my A1C before I started, that it would have at least been in pre-diabetes range. So, but it can quickly, again, we've seen thousands of stories of how quickly, even someone that's been type 2 for a long time, switching to a low carb diet, they can get off most of their medications within months, and it's, that's one thing I always say. When people talk about how expensive eating real food is, well, yeah, it's not as cheap as eating processed foods, but when you can replace medication with good quality foods, if you can get over that first few months, then, I think I'd rather spend money on steak than I would on medication. The doctors had to have known all the science was there. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what we were taught, right, Sheena? We were taught that the doctors are the ones that know or have the knowledge that we need. Unfortunately, that knowledge is driven by money. And, it's not really their fault. I think a lot of physicians are captured right out of school. They've got the the big food and other big pharma and all that, and the government basically capturing them, before they even become doctors. So it's kind of hard for, you have to have people like Dr. Barry, who basically is just a doctor by name now. Like he's not a practicing physician anymore, because, he's found more success in helping people by being a creator and going on YouTube. Like he helps more people every Monday night on his lives than, probably 50 doctors would in a year. So I think that, he made a good decision to sort of step away from the actual practice and then getting into helping people where he can reach the masses. Yeah, doctors don't want to tell you the truth about keto because keto doesn't make money for anybody. You can't, keto doesn't come in a pill, and it's, yes, there's companies that make money off of keto, but ultimately you can do keto without spending a dime on anything except for real food. You don't have to buy things like keto chow. Again, I'm not saying saying there's anything wrong with it, but you don't need things like this. You don't need keto bricks. These are all nice to have things. Stick with, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, and some vegetables if you like, if you can tolerate them. I have some leaner proteins, chicken, fish, sardines if you can stomach them. It's not hard, and you can get it all if you, shop, try to shop a little bit smarter and try and find the deals and all that. That makes it easier that way. But again, that's my personal experience with it. Like Dr. Barry, Ken Berry says, the doctors are not properly trained to see the signs. Yeah. Or when they do see the signs, all they're trained to do is prescribe medication for it. Yeah, unless they get disciplined and start a YouTube channel. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I was looking up records on doctors. You'll be amazed at what I find. Yeah, I'm not surprised, that's for sure. I was telling my doc something was wrong. He just prescribed meds. Yeah. But again, it's, like Dr. Barry will say, and like a lot of other physicians will say, is that going through medical school, nutrition was the lowest amount of training there, like the least amount of training they got in school, like that. What was Dr. Barry saying? They get maybe 2 weeks total of nutrition training out of how many years of schooling? If they flip that around and turn it into, the majority of the training is based on nutrition. Can you imagine how healthy everybody would be if their doctor would say, okay, well, what are you eating? And say, well, okay, stop eating this and then you'll feel better. And, if they were actually able to help people change their lifestyle instead of just medicating it. All I'm saying is look your doctor up on the medical board. Yeah. Once on keto, within a year, I was off high blood pressure medication and diabetic meds. Exactly. So like that's what I'm saying is that, and medications aren't cheap. I know here in Canada, there's, medications are mostly paid for through drug plans and stuff like that. But, some of them you still have to pay some of the price for, and things just aren't cheap. And if you can get off of them and just replace that expense with, good quality food, then I don't know. I think that's a no-brainer. But again, the population has gone to or has become, they'd rather indulge as much as they can and try and fix things quickly with medications instead of doing the hard things. Like it was, the one thing, I think it was Intrepid's, she was in here earlier. She commented on something, and I think Dustin from Keto Simple said is that, doing nothing is easy. Doing something like changing your lifestyle completely, and with something like keto, it's hard. I won't ever say it's easy. It's really hard. But I think it's 100% worth it. My doctor wanted to, but he didn't have his own practice, so they can. Yeah. What do we got here? Doctor tried to tell me I shouldn't get it. I dumped my traditional doctor and see a naturopathic doctor. She understands the needs for proper food. Sometimes that's what it takes, is to find the person that's going to support your choices, right? Yes, it is, Sheena. Biggest medical supplies is owned by shareholders. Yeah. I need people who like sardines to say yes. I do. I like sardines myself. Obviously I can't hate them too bad if I'm willing to put them in chaffles and put it on put it on YouTube, right? So everyone's saying yes. Everyone seems to like them. Anchovies, I like anchovies. I used to get anchovies on pizza all the time. That's a good idea, LB. Maybe that would be my next Willet chaffle idea. Oysters. I like smoked oysters. I'm not really a big fan of just plain oysters, but smoked oysters, I'll eat those all night for sure. Have I done the Dr. Boz sardine challenge? No, I couldn't. I couldn't eat enough sardines to actually keep me fed. I like them. I don't really have anything against them, but it's not something I'd want to eat too much of. I don't do challenges. I know every time I see new challenges come out and stuff like that, I think, hey, well, maybe this would be good for the channel and all that, but it's not good for me. So that's why I don't do it. So I don't like to sort of limit myself that way. So I just kind of stay away from it. Scallops are amazing too. I have no partner for this. I'm in day 2. Yeah. Well, like I say, sardines are great. They should be considered a superfood. They're they're really high in omega-3s and really good fats. So again, I can see the benefits of it physically. That's just a mental thing for me. That's why I don't usually get into doing things like this, or that challenge anyways. Best sardines is smoked by Polar Yum. Yeah, that sounds good. I've never had smoked. You definitely have to look and make sure whatever you're getting for sardines is good quality ingredients, because they can pack them in some pretty crappy things too. Sashimi is my fave. I'm not a huge fan of that kind of stuff, but again, it's I have tried it. So can number 5. Wow, that I don't know if I could eat that many cans in a day. I've eaten a can before, but I don't like them that much. Let's just put it that way. Oysters and cream cheese, yum. That'd be good. Yeah. Again, you keep giving me ideas for chaffles here. Maybe a smoked oyster and cream cheese chaffle should be on the menu. I enjoyed it. It's to help heal and get into ketosis. Yep. Yeah, it's one of those things, that the oyster challenge, or doing triple B&E to sort of eliminate as much as you can to try and heal things and kickstart ketosis a bit better is, again, I fully support whenever anyone wants to try these things. I just don't personally, and it's a mental thing for me. I don't like limiting myself to certain things for too long. But again, that's just me. Okay, so what do we got? Love oysters. I break my fast with 3 cans of sardines. Yeah, that's a good way to break a fast for sure. Makes me feel full for sure. Yeah, all that fat would definitely keep you full. Lots of energy. I would assume it'll give you lots of energy too. Yeah, I hear you on that one, Sheena. I didn't do well and I didn't lose anything. That's a common thing I've found, Sheena, is that a lot of people say that it didn't really turn into a weight loss kind of thing. It was more of a healing type um, type thing. It wasn't, a lot of people don't really lose on triple B and E, but again, a lot of people are in different places too. I've been thinking about the sardine challenge, not sure though. Yeah, again, it's one of those things that's if you can personally hack it, then it's worth a try for a couple of days anyways, I guess. And we got Bob in the house and he won't be doing the sardine challenge anytime soon. Yeah. I'm with you, Bob. That's again, I like sardines. I'm not a eat them every day kind of like for them. So chicken of the sea, too fishy. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess we got a little bit off topic, but I hope that, what I was talking about here tonight and what we've all been talking about in the chat sort of gives you an idea of how to turn, the proper human diet into a lifestyle, into something that is sustainable for the rest of your life. Get your why, figure out why you want to do this, get some community support. Again, lots of good people here. Sheena, Reichwin, Rick, um, Reichwin's here. We've got semi-retired Bob. If you want to get into doing things like carnivore, Bob's got a great channel. He's got some awesome information over there. So get that support, get a community, figure out how you're going to do the diet, and then give it a real chance. Give it that 90 days, give it that 120 days, 3-4 months. Just give it a good chance, because I guarantee you, if you give it enough time, you will feel those benefits other than just weight loss. You'll feel how much better you can actually feel. Because I always like to say, you'll never know how crappy you actually felt until you start feeling really good. Because you might think you're all right now, change your diet for 3 or 4 months, and I guarantee you'll feel 100% better. So that's about it. I see that Too Crazy Ketos has probably started their live stream here at 8:30, so we'll jump off there, and then we'll see everyone back here next week at 7:30. At this point, I don't think I have anything lined up for an interview, so we'll probably come back on and do another live stream. Come up with another topic next week. If anyone feels like sort of coming up on StreamYard with me next week, I'll have a community post about the live stream. If you want to come up with me, just let me know in the comments there, or send me an email, and I'll send you a link, and we'll just have a discussion kind of thing. So that is about it for this week, folks. I hope you have a great weekend. Stay on plan if you can, and then we'll see you next week. Keep on thriving, my friends. Have a good night.